Hello and welcome to Menu Monday. If you're new to the channel, my husband and I travel job to job, then we travel around the country in our RV. I do get inspired when I watch other channels doing menus and recipes, but I have to say there are not many out there that cater to RVs or small kitchens. If you know of any channels, please let me know and put them in the comments below. So that's why I want to share my recipes and hope to inspire some other RVers out there or those with small kitchens. I list all my ingredients at the end of each day's video so that you can do a screenshot if it's easier for you on your cell phone, or in the comments below I have the ingredients and everything for each recipe that I share. So let's get started. Today we're making buffalo chicken and a creamed cabbage. So for the chicken I cut mine up in half, my chicken breasts each in half. Then you're going to splice it in half. Don't cut all the way through. You sprinkle that with some pepper and then some mozzarella. Try to use one hand for the chicken, the other hand for the cheese, so you don't contaminate your bag of cheese when you're dipping in there. Now I was thinking I was air frying these, so I started to put them in the air fryer, but I do change over and go back to my original recipe. I have preheated our oven to 375 degrees. There, I'm going back now to the buffalo, so we're going to use the hot sauce, and I put in some melted butter and some celery salts, I believe it was, but it'll be in the ingredients at the end. You just cover the chicken with this, and then you're going to cook this in the oven for about 35 minutes or until the chicken is done. Sorry, that was my ice maker. Alright, now on to the cabbage. We're going to put the butter in the frying pan on medium heat and let that melt. We're going to cut up the cabbage and then put that in the pan and saute until golden brown. Alright, now our cabbage is wilted and got golden. We're going to add in the heavy whipping cream. And we'll let that simmer until the cream is reduced. And you want to lower the heat towards the end as it starts to come together. Excuse me. It reduced fairly quickly, actually. And once it's done, you just add some salt and pepper to taste. And then you're going to add a little lemon zest. And then lastly, the parsley. going to speed this up. I think I used zested half the lemon. And that was dinner tonight, and here are your ingredients. Today we're making a Mexican casserole. Now this can be cooked in a slow cooker or in the Instant Pot. So I will put directions in the description box below for both. I am using the slow cooker today. So the first thing we're going to do is brown the meat with half of the taco seasoning packet. After that we'll drain. And to the casserole dish, we're going to add the cabbage, tomatoes, the rest of the taco mix, the beef, some cream cheese, and some regular cheese. I'll have all the ingredients at the end of this video and in the description box below. Alright, now in the slow cooker you can either have it on low all day. I did mine on high for about 3, possibly 4 hours, and you want to mix this about halfway through. So now we are on to the cauliflower, which is our mashed ranch. And what we're going to do is pour a cup of either water or chicken broth into the bottom of the Instant Pot. I make my own chicken broth out of the chicken granules. You're going to make sure your trivet is in there, and then cut your cauliflower up, removing the core, and place the entire head on top of the trivet. You can also cut these up into florets. If you do that, the cooking time is going to be 4 minutes. If you leave it whole, as I'm doing here, I do it for 15 minutes. Alright, we'll get the lid on and get this cooking. When the time's up, you want to release the pressure, remove the lid and the cauliflower, and then empty the liquid out. Put the cauliflower back in, and you're going to add in your butter and your ranch dressing. Not dressing, the powdered ranch dressing. You can get either the packet or the large container, which is what I have, but either will work. And you use 3 tablespoons. At first I thought it was a lot, but it does incorporate well and tastes delicious. You just mash that up. Leave it kind of chunky. It does have a better texture that way. And there's our dinner tonight. And I have the ingredients for you here. Today's dinner is going to be air-fried green beans and pork chops. The first thing we do is put the green beans in a skillet with some olive oil. When I get those heated up, we're going to add all the other ingredients. I'll have them at the end of the video. And we're going to saute this until the green beans are bright green and glossy. It does take about 10 minutes. But you don't have to thoroughly cook them because they're going to go in the air fryer after this. We're going to get ours in the air fryer. This is for the Emerald Lagasse Air Fryer 360. And we'll cook these at 390 degrees for 15 minutes. That was the recipe. Mine took an additional 10 minutes to get nice and crunchy. So that was 25 minutes for mine. But just check them after 15 minutes to see if you need more. While the green beans are cooking, we're going to get going on the pork chops. And first of all, we're going to cook the onion. Now this also called for mushrooms. Big Daddy does not like mushrooms, so I did omit those. We're going to cook these until they're tender. And I'm just putting some seasoning on the pork chops. We're going to remove the onions now and put in our pork chops. Add a little more spray olive oil. The seasonings I used were a pork rub by Grill Mates, some Himalayan pink salt and pepper, but you can season yours with whatever seasonings you enjoy. The recipe actually called for salt and pepper, but I did add on to that. We're going to cook these until they get nice and brown. Then we're going to add our pork gravy. And then return our onions to the pan. We're going to then cover and simmer this for 10 to 15 minutes until the pork chops are done. We're going to remove our green beans from the oven, and we're going to plate this dinner up. And here's our final plate and the ingredients for these two recipes. Today we're making a chicken broccoli divan, and the first thing I'm going to do is get the chicken cooked. I did make this one time before and I used a rotisserie, and that works just as well. I just sprinkled my chicken with some pepper, Himalayan pink salt, and some chicken seasoning. So once the chicken was cooked, I sprayed my casserole dish and put in my chicken and my broccoli. Now the broccoli is supposed to be just defrosted. I actually had to cook mine because I forgot to defrost it. And then my next issue, I was supposed to mix the milk and the soup in a bowl together and then pour it on top. But I ended up having to do it in the casserole dish because I had already put the soup in there when I realized. So a little off track there, but I do have the correct directions in the description box below. It still tasted fantastic, so don't worry if you mess up too. The next thing we're going to do is put some cheese on here. And then we're going to melt 1 tablespoon of butter. And we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of breadcrumbs. I use the panko. I find them just to be a little more crispy and crunchy. We'll mix that up and use that as a topping. Now this recipe has 20.1 grams of carbs. So even with that and the soup, it was not too bad. We're allowed 24 every 4 hours. I'm going to get this in the oven and get that cooking. And then the corn doesn't take very long, so you want to wait till the casserole is almost done before you start with the corn. So you're going to put 2 cups of water in the pot with a steamer basket or trivet, and then put it on high pressure for 3 minutes. Once it's cooked, then you want to do a quick release, and then your corn will be just as tender as you like. And here are your ingredients. Hello! So today I'm going to make a salad with cucumber, tomato, and onion, and then just put some Italian dressing on it and let it soak in the refrigerator for a few hours before we're ready to eat. I want to apologize in advance if you hear rain. We are in a terrible storm right now, and that is causing some issues with the noise. I apologize in advance. Very simple salad and very delicious. I added a little pepper, shook it up, and put it in the fridge. Now for some chicken teriyaki. I had a couple chicken breasts left over. I just cut them up into strips, and I marinated them in some chicken teriyaki sauce for about 3 hours. Now I'm going to place them on my griddle pan and cook them until they reach temperature. It only took about 5 to 10 minutes. You can also do this on the grill. Now for a side dish of broccoli. I put these in the Instant Pot. You put a cup of water in there, put your broccoli in, set it for 2 minutes, and then once it reaches pressure, do a quick release. Remove your broccoli. It'll be cooked and perfect. And then what I did is took a half a can of broccoli cheese soup, mixed it with water, put it in the microwave to warm up, I think for 1 minute, and then I poured it on the broccoli, and it was delish. I did pepper and salad seasoning to top that off. Poured the cheese on, and this was dinner tonight. And I hope you enjoyed this week's menu. And if you're new to the channel, again, I welcome you. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love to have you. And for those viewers that are coming back, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed it too. I'll be back soon with another video. Take care, y'all. Love you. Bye-bye.